All right. Hello, everyone. I almost said Douglas, but that is the wrong stream and the wrong chat. Can everyone hear me? It is the obligatory, let's do a sound check. I'm just going to let everyone know I'm still recovering from being sick, so you're probably going to have to hear me clear my throat a couple times, but I will try to keep it to a medium minimum. But how's everyone doing? Sorry for the surprise out of nowhere stream. I didn't announce this. I was recording some Patreon content with Adam earlier, since we've been getting quite an influx of members there. And I was like, oh, why don't we do the Persona tax thing, because we need to put that in the compilation. And he didn't have enough time for it, so I was like, yeah, fuck it, we'll do it on stream. We can hear you, Joe, but your voice sounds a bit rough. Okay, define rough. Do I need to, like, turn this up? Let me make sure I have the right input. Let me listen to myself. That's not too crazy bad. But yeah, let me get us over to the proper stream setup. Okay. This should be good. With my bouncing, low effort PNG, you guys, everyone knows and loves. Let me just look at a few things really quick before we get started. Alex says we love Joe Frederick streams. Thank you so much. I don't love them, but I'm glad someone does. It sounds like you're sick. Just take care of yourself. I will, Phoenix. Don't worry. Today's stream is not going to be like a 2-hour one. It'll probably be around an hour. So let me catch you guys up. So on my channel, in January of last year, our like first upload of the year was a supercut of the first 3 parts of the Bear videos, including Bear Island and FNAF. Why is she singing? I didn't know there were lyrics in that song. Hey! Your content is always awesome. Don't forget that. Thank you, Canada Caden326. I really appreciate that. It helps out a ton. I'm not going to make every video I make talking about my financial crises, but it's been rough in the big 26, so any little bit helps. But yeah, I made the supercut to basically just combine the first 3 episodes and then give some like future thoughts and addendums. So like I would read through a lot of the people's comments, see if they made a good point on how a character should be placed somewhere different, and I added it. If you've ever seen the like Alex Bale SpongeBob like big theory video, it's basically that but for my stuff. So I'm going to do that again in the next month or two with Persona Pokemon, Persona Zombies, and it was originally going to be Persona Danganronpa, but that project has become way too big to clump in with this this kind of thing. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to include the Smash Brothers Taxes video, which sounds weird at first, but one, it's got Joker in it. I mean, he's on the fucking thumbnail. And that video needs the most amount of, like, addendums and, like, edits, because I did get quite a few things wrong in that video. So I'm going to include a Persona character segment to kind of justify it a bit more. I don't know if I'm going to take clips just directly from this stream and just edit them together, or if I'll, like, script something out, but we're going to do this live today. I tried to do this like 2 weeks ago, but it was when I was like way worse off sick. So like I started to record the first like 10 minutes of it, and I was like, I cannot do this. I'm gonna die. So we're doing it today. Joe is stronger than the tax man. Does the bear pay taxes? The bear does not, although he probably should with how much traveling he's doing. Does this tier list include Labras? Of course you would ask that, Labras fan. Yes, it will. I'll give this one to you. But honestly, I think we should just get it started off. By the way, also, I do see you guys, OctoKid and Izui in Twitch. I'm trying to make more of a conscious effort to look over there. Also, we're going to be jamming to the Persona 5 Tactica OST today. Because in all the other streams, we use just like the same basic Persona study mix. So, we're changing it up a little bit. Alright, so for starters, we're not going to do Persona 1 and 2. I've talked about this before, but my plan is when Persona 6 eventually comes out, I'm going to make sequel videos to all the Bear videos, talking about the Persona 6, Persona 1, Persona 2, and maybe Metaphor. So any lists I'm doing in the present are still not going to include them. I'm not trying to shit on them. I know Persona 1 and 2 has its fans. I just haven't played them yet, so this is the way I'm going to segment it. But let's start off with Persona 3. After I take a sip of my fun juice. Okay, so as per usual, we can get a lot of the easy ones out of the way. Let's start off with the doesn't exist tier. These are characters that I do not believe have, like, proper social security numbers, so the government cannot tax them. Which this is a lot of easy early inclusions. I'll use the reload renders. This is Aegis, Ken, or not Ken, Koromaru, Metis. For the Labris fan in chat, this will also be Labris. Although, okay, Labris fan, I'm gonna need your input. Isn't Labris like a real girl that they made into a robot? Is that a thing? I vaguely remember Labris having a different situation. But while we wait on that answer, yeah, so no Teddy, no Morgana, no Sophia. Labris mentioned. Labris, I'm asking you for input. Labris is still a robot. She was designed off a real girl. Okay, so she stays in there. Someone just said Spirit of Gotham, and pretty much every Velvet Room attendant. That's true. I do see, like, kind of a comedic scenario where all of the Velvet Room attendants, like, I feel like Elizabeth and Theodore stumble into a situation where the government tries to tax them. I just don't know how. But yeah, pretty much all of the Velvet Room attendants. And you know what? Fuck it. Even though I'm not really going to talk about Jose, a lot of people think Jose is going to be a Velvet Room attendant. He's not. he's not paying taxes. Also, for the, like, 2 Persona 5X fans in chat, we'll also throw the fucking bird in there. Not Morgana. Okay. Next is... That's already a lot of fucking characters for one of my streams. This would usually take 3 hours to get to this point. Oh, Marie too. Good point. Thank you, Phoenix. I always forget because she's not colored blue. The protagonists. This is something we need to address right out the gate, and this is how Japanese tax law works. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert about this, but I did do some research about it a few weeks ago when I was originally going to record for this. Japan does not have the same, like, tax laws as we do in America. It's not like, oh, once you're 18 onward, you start paying taxes. I believe it's based on the amount of income you make. So you could be like 15 years old, and if you're making 6 figures, you're still getting taxed. I remember what I looked into specifically were, do Japan grocers make enough to be taxed? Because that's Yosuke's job, and my research said yes. And I think Yosuke is a very good basis for this is a, like, minimum wage job. If he's getting taxed, anyone who works a comparable job to him is also paying taxes. Deus X just said, what about Morgana in 3rd semester? I don't think that counts. There's some reality warping shenanigans at play there. Why not I guess? Like, maybe Mitsuru gave her Japanese citizenship as a person. Otherwise, I do not know if she lives in Japan without the attention of the police. Um, I don't know. Like, I don't think giving someone citizenship is the same as them having birth records and existing. Also, I don't know what Aegis's income for her job would be. I'm gonna leave it as nothing. Like, she's not paying taxes yet. There's no taxes in Maruki's world. That's a good point. Maruki would not have taxes. We would have free healthcare for days. All right, I need a sip of my fun juice. I say fun juice like it's literally not just Capri Sun. But if we are using the basis of the grocer as our like estimate for taxes, we know that Yosuke does. Like, arguably, he's one of the biggest shoo-ins. He works at a fucking Stater Bros. On top of which, the protagonists, because I don't want to derail into Persona 4 too quick yet, I think it's safe to say that all of the protagonists have paid taxes due to their side jobs. Like, Makoto works at a cafe and a few other things. I think it's the same thing for Katone, Persona 3 Portable Heads, prove me wrong. And Joker works at 7-Eleven and a flower store. You know, like, those all make sense. However, this is where I really need the chat input for the Persona 4 heads. Does you pay taxes? Because, like, yes, the argument can be made in the future he gets a job, obviously. But for the purposes of this discussion, we are going off of the information we have. Like, for example, we know Akihiko in the future goes to work for Mitsuru's, like, organization. So we know that he's gonna, you know, pay some sort of tax on that. We know that Chie eventually grows up to be a cop. So, cringe, but she still pays taxes. We don't really know what his career prospects are. And all of his side jobs are, like, commission-based, as far as I remember. Like, he tutors kids and folds cranes. You fucks the taxes. Bro has like 7 jobs. Yeah, but aren't they all commission based? Wouldn't he get paid from his work at the hospital? Okay, no, you're right. I completely... God, for some reason, I blocked out the hospital character from Persona 4. That's weird. Okay. He works as a bartender as well? When does you work as a bartender? I mean, he'll get paid for the hospital thing. I'm blanking on this bartender shenanigan. I know he's a tutor, babysitter, plus a janitor. Okay, yeah, you is fine. So yeah, all the protagonists are good. Same for Yosuke. To continue on the line of characters that we know pay taxes, based on just like their future career prospects. I'm trying to think of who works a job in Persona 4. Because here's the thing, Rise and Kanji, they both work for their, like, family businesses. Same with Yukiko. I don't know if that's, like, under-the-table payment. Like, yes, in the future, it makes sense for them to inherit their businesses or shops and pay taxes. So that's, like, kind of more, I would consider... like, a most likely does, but we don't know for certain. Like, Kanji works at the textile shop and goes to college. Do we know what he does for, like, a career after that? Rise is an idol, she gets taxed. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, you could probably make the argument the same with like any of these CEO characters, like, oh, do they really get taxed if they're that famous? But for simplicity's sake, yeah, Rise probably pays taxes, or her like manager did. Most family businesses pay employees under the table, from my experience. Yeah, that's what I thought too. So like, Kanji, I think, is probably does. He seems like an upstanding guy in the future, but the only job that we know he does is under the table. So, like, if he inherits the textile shop, he'll probably have to pay property tax eventually. And let's be honest, his grandma is not young. So that's probably fine. Yukiko, on the other hand, gets us into an interesting territory. By the way, this music is too intense. Okay, I need, like, Beneath the Mask or something. Oh, thank you, 2005 Matsus, for subscribing. I really appreciate that. Also, recently I've seen, I promise I'm not going to show a lot this stream. I've seen a lot of people joining as YouTube members on the channel, which is very sweet, and it does help out a ton. But I do just want to remind anyone, if they're ever interested in that sort of thing, the Patreon is a better place to go, because I can actually give you, like, content and rewards through Patreon. Like, right now, the first couple pages of the Persona Danganronpa script are up there. You know, some early access stuff. Pretty cool. I won't linger on that for much longer. In Persona 4 AU, it's confirmed Kanji goes off to knit as a career. Okay, Labris, I'm gonna trust you on that. You do seem to be the, like, leader of the fucking Persona 4 army. Also, I'm nervous. My stream just froze. Thank you, UltraJack299. Uh-oh. Okay, no, I think we're live. Guys, can you see me? Am I here? Odyssey 518, do you see me? Oh, I'm scared. Is my stream up right now? Did maybe just my phone crash? Okay, no, I think we're good. We're good. Thick Pika came here from the One Absurd Fact video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I don't know why I made my voice so squeaky when I said that. I really appreciate it. Okay, everyone's saying we're good. My phone crashed. Thank you. Alright, so getting back on track. We know Kanji probably pays taxes. It's a little ambiguous. Yukiko inherits her family business. And I want to make a category similar to the tax video of is taxing others. And maybe this is a bit unfair of me to say for Yukiko in particular, but as we go on, it's going to become abundant. There are some characters that are taxing others. Like, let's not beat around the bush here. Let's throw Mitsuru and Haru in that category right now. Like, anyone who inherits your fucking family conglomerate business, especially Mitsuru, I don't think you're on the IRS's radar in the same way that Yosuke is. Wait a minute, doesn't Ryoji not exist? Oh, true. I'm not really talking a lot about the, like, non-party members, but I will throw you Ryoji in the doesn't matter tier. I can do that much for you. Yukiko works at the IRS? No, I don't think Yukiko's got that dog in her. Taxes don't work that way. Look, Phoenix, I know that, like, CEOs don't actually tax their employees. I know that that's not how the real world works. But I'm just saying, this is like the you are so rich tier that, like, taxes don't affect you. Like, yes, you pay them, but does it really matter? Like, I don't know. I'll change it to, like, is taxing others too rich? Am I crazy for this? People are saying Shido definitely taxes. All right, look. Yes, probably a lot of the Persona 5 villains in particular do, but we are keeping the discussion to mainly main characters and supporting characters. He might not be a party member, but Akutsuki definitely commits tax fraud. Okay, fuck. I know I just said we're not going on spin-offs, but, like, fuck Akutsuki. Let's throw him in there. Fuck this guy. Where is he? He looks like... This is a crazy take, but Akutsuki feels like the kind of guy that would... Not Yandere Dev. That's Kamoshida. but the kind of guy that would be obsessed with Yandere Yandere Simulator 2025. Like that's his whole personality. And I don't know how else to explain it other than that. I was very validated when I uploaded the Absurd Fact video because I shit on him a lot. And so many of the comments were like, yeah, fuck Akutsuki, fuck him. And I was so afraid that there were going to be people like, no, Akutsuki's actually really based and cool. And he crucifies people. I made a tweet about this. Sorry, I know I'm tangenting. But I made a tweet saying that I think Akutsuki would be a lot better of a character in Persona 3 if he was the first navigator you had. Like, instead of Mitsuru in the beginning, it should have been Akutsuki, like, in the office. And he can obviously get replaced by Fuka later, obviously. But I feel like even having those, like, 2 or 3 dungeons or, like, Tartarus layers with him guiding the player would establish a, like, way more meaningful relationship between the player and Akutsuki. And I'm not saying it needs to be, like, an Akechi level heartthrob twist. I'm not saying we gotta love Akutsuki. But it would make me remember that he'd exist. Because, like, the problem with Akutsuki is he's relevant in the first, you know, like, hour or 2 of the game, and then he pops up every, like, 4 hours to be like, I am still helping you. And then at the 40-hour mark, he's like, I'm evil now, don't you care? And it's like, no. You were as relevant to this as, like, fucking Mitsuru's dad. Who, by the way, he's definitely taxing people. But no, I had a friend, I was telling this to him, and he was like, I don't think every character needs to be, like, emotionally attached to. And I'm like, I'm not saying he needs to be, like, your boyfriend. He just needs to do something. Anyways, taxes. I kind of lost track. Let's go back to Persona 4. We were kind of cooking with that. I feel like Naoto definitely does. And, Chie probably does. We know that in the future she wants to become a cop, but we never get direct confirmation as far as I'm aware that she does it. And that's kind of what the probably does tier is for. It's for characters that we know what kind of, like, prospects that they want, like what career they want to achieve. But if we don't see it on screen or, like, get it confirmed, it goes in the probably does. Yeah, Naoto we know is working, like, as a detective from a young age. She probably is in that threshold of making enough money, even at, like, 15, 16. Labras fan says Chie is confirmed to be a cop in Persona 5 on the TV. Is that real? Because I know that they talk about Akihiko on the TV in Persona 5, but I don't think it's Chie. It says she's at the Cop Academy in Persona 5? What? Sorry, I'm silent while I'm reading this. On the TV, they mentioned both Naoto and Chie at separate occasions. One mentioned the previous Detective Prince that went on to become a full... yeah, whatever. And another, a police rookie who also knew martial arts... Alright, I mean, it's a little ambiguous, but I'll give it to you guys. Sure, Chie deserves a win. I don't know if paying your taxes is a win, if you asked me, but sure. Okay. Is that all the Persona 4 party members? Adachi. He should be, but I think this is our first legitimate actively avoids it. Like... even before he reveals himself to be a psycho, I could see a situation where he's sitting in the office, like, with Dojima, and he's like, Adachi, did you file your 1099? And he's like, oh, sorry, sir, I must have misplaced it. Oh, silly me. And he puts his hands to his head. He definitely should, but he's not doing it. That's my stance. Okay. That's all of Persona 4. Let's go on to Persona 5. We'll save Persona 3 for last. Ryuji and On. Chat, I'm gonna need help with this one. I know On is a model, and she's like a significantly successful one, so she does probably pay, like, during the events of the game, I would imagine. Oh my god, guys, did Joe Frederick just say something nice about On? Shadow Brandon? No, we're not talking about Brandon on streams. I will, like, block that word if it gets brought up. Okay, wait, never mind. I want to talk about Brandon for a quick second. You know, everyone here knows the Brandon memes. Fuck that guy. I didn't want to make fun of him before because I've actually been aware of his content for like a year. I used to see his My Little Pony memes pop up. But I've never felt right, like, talking shit on him because it just feels like talking down. I'm not someone that should be making fun of anyone for a Persona fanfiction. Look at my career. However, he did, in, like, his YouTube community posts, get really mad at the, like, voice actors for not wanting to come back. Because, like, after his memes got, like, shit posted to hell, a bunch of the voice actors were like, hey, I'm not actually comfortable with my likeness still being used in future videos. Which, like, is fair. And especially since it's been, like, 3 or 4 years later. But he turned it into this, like, this whole, like, oh, the voice actors, they scammed me, you know? And it felt very, like, rude for the voice actors. So I did leave a comment being like, hey, don't be lame to the voice actor. She just isn't comfortable. If you want people to, like, respect, you know, how you express yourself, surely you should extend that to the next, like, the next person. No, I'm not actually talking about the Reddit thing yet. But I did yesterday see that he's still doing auditions for Mishima for the next part of fucking his series. And I did audition. It's horrible. It was my first take. I'll play it now.
I'd really like to help out the Phantom Thieves in acts of justice. Can I? Please? I may not be able to change the world, but I can change myself.
Like, I am hamming up the Deku so fucking much in this take. I refuse to do more than one take, alright? What I'm going to ask from the chat, okay? I don't know how many of you have casting call clubs. I think it would be fucking hysterical if I could infiltrate the Brandon verse and get cast as Mishima just to figure out what's going on in there. All right. Phoenix says you can't hear it. That's fine. What I'm gonna ask, I'm gonna drop a link to my audition. I don't need anyone to comment. We are not a community that harasses people. All I want is just for people to, like the audition. If you have a casting call club, I'm sure some of you do. You've auditioned for my projects in the past. Just please, it would be so funny. It would be so fucking funny if I infiltrate it. I'm gonna comment it. I'm gonna pin it. No one be rude and no one give up the bit, though. Like, if you're gonna leave a comment, it just has to be, this is a really good audition, I hope you get cast. No one go there and be like, Joe Frederick sent me. Fuck Brandon. You know, we're not trying to be mean. We're just looking for research, okay? And then it would be fun, because then it's like, oh, the big Persona crossover of 2026? Maybe this is an uncool way of me utilizing my audience, but I really hope you guys see the vision with this. Someone said post it for Discord later. Yeah, I'll get around to it. Sorry, I did not mean to sidetrack. I'll post it in Twitch too for all 5 of you in there. Also, my Patreon link is in the description. No. All right. I've shared it. I'm just gonna refresh, see if anyone so far has upvoted. Kind of cool. All right, fuck yeah, we're up to. We got a new comment. Absolutely loved your audition. Hope you get the role. Let's go. Yes, this is what we need. And the funny thing is, I did comment on his community post defending the voice actors. So I'm really hoping he doesn't put 2 and 2 together. But all right. Anyways, we're moving on. We'll check back in on that in a little bit. Who in Persona 5 has paid taxes? On definitely has. Yusuke, I don't think so. Because Yusuke is an artist who never has money. We know that for sure. But if he goes on to, like, become a successful artist like the games want you to think, I feel like all of his money he's going to make is commission-based, right? Like, it's off of selling paintings, and you don't get, like, crazy taxes on that. Okay, guys, we're talking about Yusuke. We're not talking about Akechi yet. Yusuke doesn't. He has no money. Futaba actively avoids it. He can't really pay it anyways. Okay, guys, you love talking about Akechi as much as I do. Holy shit. Okay. The consensus is he probably doesn't. He either doesn't have money to be taxed on, or he's making money off of commission. So, probably not. Now, since the chat is fucking frothing at the mouth, Akechi, I'm gonna say he probably does. Now, granted, Persona 5 Royal and base game spoilers, he fucking dies at like 17, 18 years old, which the age doesn't really matter that much with Japanese tax law. We know that. But if Naoto is getting taxed, so should he. The only thing that is making me say probably does is I think there is an argument to be made that he avoids it somehow. Well, I don't know. I don't think Akechi's that stupid. I feel like he would see that as an unnecessary risk. Sorry, I'm talking myself in and out of this. I'm gonna say he does. You could argue that he avoids it, but I also think Akechi already is trying to blend in and be this, like, ideal person, whatever. And not paying his taxes would put a target on his back. Okay, meanwhile, Futaba actively avoids it. Actively avoids it. I don't care what she goes on to do. We don't really know what profession she wants. She's a hacker, so she's probably going to do something with computer science, which is a high-paying job, but Futaba is, like, the poster child for r/avoid my taxes. Like, no one here is going to argue me on that. Additionally, Makoto pays them. She goes on to be a cop like Chie, and if we're saying Chie pays her taxes, so does Makoto. Makoto actually knows how to do her taxes on her own, so she might be the one doing it for, like, Joker and On. Okay, Ryuji, I genuinely need the chat's help on this. All I know about Ryuji's career prospects is he wanted to be an athlete at some point to provide for his mom. Do we know, like, what he does? Does he have a side job? I feel like he doesn't. I feel like I remember in the games, like, there's an interaction where you're working at 7-Eleven and he's like, wow, you have a job? That's crazy. Someone, Discord dog, in all caps, just said, Makoto is TurboTax? Labras said Ryuji will die on the streets. Okay, it doesn't seem like anyone knows anything about Ryuji. I'm gonna check on this. Oh my god, you guys! 7 comments! Mishima, we know it's you. This is pretty well made. Also, if there are any openings for rappers here, I'd love to audition. Nice, we're blending in. Based. I genuinely made a new account to comment how perfect this man fits this role. Okay, Pika, be careful. If we make it too obvious, he won't let me in. We gotta be careful. Subtlety. But that does work. Let's see. It seems like no one really knows what to do with Ryuji, so I think that's going to be our first unclear. It's kind of funny. He's one of the more popular Persona 5 characters, but they don't really tell us what he grows up to do. What does Ryuji do after Persona 5? He starts physical therapy so he can start running again. And I'm reading that from this Reddit post, not the AI summary. Alright. I guess that's fine. Okay, Yoshizawa. I think she probably does, right? Because she's just kind of the more successful version of Ryuji as far as, like, career prospects go. She's an athlete. And a successful gymnast. Surely there is some sort of money to be made off that career, right? By that logic, he should hypothetically have a job or something to pay for his physical therapy. That's true, but we don't see it, so we can't make the assertion without concrete evidence. For all we know, he's living at home and his mom is paying the physical therapy. Yoshizawa, you could make the haha funny argument, oh, wrong social security number, but this is in a post-royal world where she has accepted her identity as... So, she's gonna have the correct social security number no matter what. I'm still gonna say probably does. She's a successful gymnast. She's bound to have made money at some point. Do they ever tell us what has done after Persona 5? She basically just travels to, like, do more gym stuff, right? The only other time we've seen her is in Tactica, and that was like a prequel. Yeah, she just goes on to be a gymnast. She probably made money along the way. She probably has a manager that does the taxes for her. Look, I really don't know what your guys' like issue is. It's very obvious that they just like don't want to clarify what does. So we're gonna leave it at that. All right. In good spirits, Mishima doesn't pay his taxes. Because I don't pay my taxes, and I'm the perfect Mishima. That's not no mission, FBI agent. Jeez, you goofhead. All right. Maruki definitely did his taxes. He had a good job. Stand-up guy. I don't see him avoiding it. That just leaves us with Persona 3. Alright, Yukari definitely does. She grows up to be... Persona 3 is really easy, because due to the existence of Persona 4 Arena, we know what a lot of these people's careers are. Phoenix just said, yeah, Joe, you need money to pay taxes. So true. Shout out to the Patreon. I'm dropping a Detective Pikachu compilation tomorrow. It's gonna be fire. Also, Adam and I made a tier list of every fast food restaurant, and it was really funny. That will be dropping probably later today. Yeah, okay. Yukari pays her taxes. It's plain and simple. Same for Junpei. He goes on to be a pro baseball player. That's crazy. Ken is a little trickier. Because as far as I'm aware, the most recent version of him we've seen is him being like a high school student. Does Ken have a job? In Persona 3, Kenemata does not have a traditional part-time job as he's an elementary schooler. However, in Persona 4 Arena, and it's the answer epilogue, he graduated middle school and holds roles consistent with student lifestyle. Ken is still baby. He's the same age as Akechi in canon. Okay, yeah. The real question is, does Joe Frederick pay taxes? No. The thing about Ken, though, is, like, yes, he might be adult age, but if the games have never said he works a job, like, what? I'm pretty sure it's unclear. I mean, yeah, he might have some sort of affiliation with what Mitsuru's doing, but we don't know if she's paying him. Oh, I did not know Junpei was a baseball coach for a school, not a pro player. Thank you for the nitpick. I would have gone my whole life not knowing that. He still stays in paying his taxes, but he's just a little guy, bro. I'm gonna leave him in unclear. I feel like if we have a game that takes place a year after Persona Arena, he definitely would. I could definitely see him working at fucking Junes or something, but since we don't know for sure, unpaid. Unclear. And then after him is Akihiko. I don't know how to answer this, because I have a very broad, vague understanding of the Persona 4 Arena story, and I know that he, like, wanders off on his own for a little bit to fight shadows in hell, and then he, like, works with Mitsuru. Is that true? Can someone in chat explain to me if Akihiko should be paying taxes? Like, is he getting paid for his work? Akihiko avoids taxes because he keeps traveling. Akihiko is a big no. Yes, guys, I know Shinji is dead. Akihiko is part of the Shadow Ops, too. Oh, hey! Fucking, that's crazy! Thank you, Valak, for staying a member. Akihiko just beats up tax collectors on accident. Is that real? Akihiko is going to university after Mitsuru Strong's arms him too. Akihiko works for the Shadow Elimination Team. Everyone is giving me a different answer on what Akihiko is doing. In someone's headcanon, he's a student. In one, he's like a traveling nomad. In another, he's a government agent. Are all of these true at the same time? Guys, you're just saying words. Disco Dog just said Mitsuru is Akihiko's TurboTax, methinks. In my heart, Akihiko doesn't pay taxes. I don't care what's in your heart, Ice Queen. I do. But that's not helping me right now. Okay, Labris, dedicated Persona 4 Arena fan, is saying that he works with the Shadow Ops. Alright. Here's my Akihiko compromise. He probably is getting paid something by Mitsuru and her Shadow Ops team. But he's avoiding it. But it's out of stupidity. He has never had to do taxes before. And Mitsuru does them for him. So he's technically had his taxes done. But he's not doing it because he doesn't even know that he has to do it. Are we all... Is that fair? Is that a middle ground between everyone's headcanons about Persona 4 Arena Akihiko? Also, Shinjiro doesn't do them. He didn't have a job when he was alive, and then he died. So, no. I'm just gonna change this to doesn't do them. Oddly fits. Yeah, that works. That sounds about right. Okay, cool. I have managed to convince like 60 people of headcanon. Wow, everyone really liked that theory. If there's anything I'm good at in this community is just making shit up about a character based off of loose knowledge. Alright, that just leaves us with Fuka, who... Okay, by the way, I'm sorry. I know people are going to get mad if I don't put fucking smegma in here. Okay, Fuka, what does she do? Like, does she work with the Shadow Ops? Because I know she has a ponytail. She goes to college, likely studying IT or engineering, and continues working with C's. Okay. Yeah, so she's working with the Mitsuru team. Now, I still would argue it's debatable if, like, the organization is paying the government properly. I don't think the actual Japan government would recognize the Scooby-Doo demon hunting team. But if we are going to assume that they do, for whatever reason, then Fuka probably pays taxes. You forgot about the Labras model, Unit 024. No, I didn't, Labras. I just don't want to talk about it. Fuka's job is being the full-time non-orphan in Persona 3. Damn, so true. Okay, I guess to do my service as YouTube's only Persona 5 Tactica fan, spoilers. Arena doesn't exist, and Toshiro pays his taxes. That checks out. The Persona Q kids, I'm gonna say none of them do. Because I don't really know what's going on with Rei. Kronos doesn't exist. And Hikari, we know she wants to be a director. You know what? Put her in probably does. She probably makes movies in the future. Add the redhead idol girl. Who's the redhead idol girl? Who are you talking about? We can add Miku. She's not on this tier list. We'll use the girl from Persona 3, I guess the prologue or whatever. No, Miku avoids her taxes. Who am I kidding? No, Miku doesn't exist. I mean, she does in my heart, but not on a fucking government pay sheet. I think they meant Kaname? Who the fuck is Kaname? Also, guys, we're only at 11 wait, 11 comments. Good job. I hope you get it. Absolutely wonderful work. This is such a lovely take. I actually think he fits Mishima really well. Guys, we might do it. We might fucking get Mishima. Persona 4 Dancing Girl. Oh, this? I don't give a fuck. Are you kidding me? All of them probably pay taxes, but I'm not gonna give a shit. I'm not playing Persona 4 Dancing for the lore implications. Alright, I think that's pretty much gonna cover it. Like, this is all the main-ish characters. I guess Sho doesn't pay his taxes. I don't think he knows what they are. Sho doesn't have a job, he's just a psycho that fights. Yeah, exactly, Jasmine. You're picking up what I'm putting down. Yeah, I think we're good to go here, gamers. Okay, wait, actually, this is important. For the next 30 seconds, everyone in chat, say hi. Say hi to the YouTube video that this gets put in. Because I'm gonna be like, I asked my Twitch chat, and it'll show footage of the chat saying hi. Hi, YouTube. Go ahead, do it. Do it now. Do it. Do it. Everyone say hi. All right. Shay Silly is first. Who's next? Come on. We got Canada, Makoto, Discord. Oh, they're really coming in hot now. You're Mr. Prince, Goro Ketchy, Camera Up Gaming, Azuli, Phoenix, Disco Dog, Labras fan. You're Mr. Prince, Alexis Pancakes. Oh my god. All right. Great work here today, gang. We did a good thing. All right. I think that's pretty much gonna be this part of stream. Before we go, okay, guys, wait, we're done with the hellos. We got our footage. No, I think that's actually pretty much gonna be it. I'll try to get more people to like the casting call in Discord later. If you're not a member of the Discord link. Oh, fuck! $2 for Zenkichi. Going once, going twice, sold to Canada Caden. Thank you so much. Fuck. I threw off what I was gonna say. Alright, yeah. That's pretty much gonna be it for stream. Fuck! Okay, wait, hold on. $5 for Zenkichi. We are betting on just owning Zenkichi? Are we fighting for him? Empress is gonna take him. I'm gonna give it 20 seconds before Empress owns Zenkichi. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and sold! Zenkichi is, I guess, going to the owner, Empress, I think, right? Legend of Empress. Yep, alright. Way to go, Empress. You own an adult man. Alright, we are going to raid someone on Twitch. So, everyone on YouTube, go over to the Twitch link. I always like to raid someone because, you know, I remember being a very lowly Twitch streamer, and I want to pass it forward. Good job today, guys. This was kind of a stupid stream, but it was fun. Alright, now to find who to raid. We keep doing Persona 5. Let's look at Persona 4, huh? Someone's got to be playing Persona 4 Golden right now. You know what? I really like this, this little PNG tuber of this cat in a strawberry, so we're gonna raid that. Alright, chat. See you guys later. Go give this person a big round of applause. Alright. Nope. No time to rank Zenkichi, guys. We gotta go. I'll see you guys next time. So long, Gay Bowser.